Greetings, I am Erin Patton, Metaphysical Master in a Millennial Age, and it is my life's purpose to guide you and organizations along an enlightened path. So I invite you to sit comfortably and tune in as I welcome you to the Meta Business Millennial, where we get the real conversations you won't get in the boardroom so that we understand this is exactly the path we need to be on in order to grow, evolve, and thrive. Greetings, I am Erin Patton, also known as Master L, and welcome to today's live Meta Business Millennial podcast. We are live across social media platforms, TikTok now, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and I am just so happy to be with you all. I see people already in the room. Thank you for joining us today and joining me today. And I'm just, again, always happy and honored to be here. And if you haven't already, certainly subscribe to my channel, like this page, leave me a comment, DM, share it with a friend. I'm across social media platforms at I am Erin Patton, because this message definitely needs to be heard. Black women around the world need to be empowered and feel loved and embraced. And I am here to do just that. And it's just an honor. And so I have to say that today's episode is especially inspired by my personal experience and also shared experiences that I have just with my own sister circle, which is of all shades and hues, not just Black women. Yet certainly Black women can definitely benefit from what I'm terming and calling today our soul ties episode, our episode around embracing healthy soul ties, releasing unhealthy soul ties, and how we do that. And for all of you who may not be familiar with soul ties, let me just start there, like defining what is it, And soul ties essentially are our spiritual connections, our energetic connections that we have with other divine beings in human form on this planet. And for all of you who don't even think about human beings in that way, like literally we are spirit energy, we are unseen energy, we are metaphysical energy moving about in these human avatars. And yes, we're here today. I'm here today as Erin Patton, yet this energy has existed for a long time that animates me and gives me life. And this energy has had, in my world and in my view and in my also knowing system, this energy has had other lives, many other lives, especially on this planet, and maybe other dimensions as well. But for now, let's just speak to that. And sometimes, we find ourselves gravitating in life and physical life to the same souls. And whether it's to learn lessons, maybe there are some covert contracts, maybe there are some conscious, contracts. There may be some people who come consciously knowing that they have to go through life with other people. And sometimes these soul ties are there to make us, and sometimes they're there to break us. But either way, they are arcing towards a greater you, a greater evolution of self. So that's really so you can never go wrong. That's why I'm always like, everything always works out for me, because no matter what the soul brings into my life, I'm able to transmute it, good or bad, into something that serves my highest good. So it'll always turn into something good, because there are always lessons to be learned. And that's something that I hope that many of you can take away from this, because I think a lot of times, and I speak to this a lot, we have these horrible experiences, or we have these horrible relationships, and we judge ourselves, we blame ourselves, we beat ourselves up. But these were lessons that we hadn't mastered. Okay. And I know this because I literally was just doing this a month ago, like beating myself up over a situation that I know I shouldn't have been in. But something was drawing me there. There was a deep soul karmic connection. I even was saying, I feel like I'm karmically cursed. Like, this is ridiculous, but there were some very clear lessons and also some attributes around my mate that I needed to experience. Like, I was like, okay, oh, wow, I love these things about him, or I really detest these things. But one thing about the universe is that you need to be able to put in a clear order. Okay, so you need to be able to know very concretely, very clearly what you want and what you don't want. Because if you're somewhere wobbly in the middle, then the universe, what I'm saying, you're going to get wobbly. And that's just how it works, So certainly we want to always be, thinking about these experiences, opportunities for growth, opportunities for learning, and opportunities for loving ourselves more deeply. Okay. So that's like a long introduction / definition around soul ties. And, and certainly I want to speak to the professional aspect too, because this is a podcast and a platform for Black women entrepreneurs, Black women leaders, professionals, wherever you sit, you are leading. And I want you guys to also understand the soul ties that can happen in our work, like karmic relationships and working together, relationships at work, okay? And sometimes we may leave a place, we may be scarred, we may felt like that place was traumatic, it traumatized us. We sometimes need to cut soul ties with our work colleagues, with the organizations who we bound ourselves to, who we were under contract with. That was a conscious contract of compensation for delivery of services or labor or whatever it was. So certainly this transcends just the relationship, love, DW, things. This also can translate very easily over to the professional life as well. So if you're finding yourself, whether it's in an organization or an entrepreneurial endeavor where you are not feeling like the ties are burned or the ties are wobbly, then this is an opportunity too to evaluate the connections you have with your work and your work life and the people who you work with. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that was said, because I feel like I wanted to read this quote really about understanding soul ties, and it's soul ties are emotional handcuffs. Okay, they bind you to memories, pain, and patterns that no longer serve your highest self. And I'm going to further clarify around these are probably unhealthy soul ties, okay? Because I do believe that there are healthy soul ties, but there are some unhealthy soul ties that can feel like emotional handcuffs. And they can bind you to your memories, to pains, and patterns that no longer serve your highest self, okay? All right, so I'm just going to check in with you guys and make sure y'all are doing okay. Got some hearts and some love out there. So keep it coming, y'all. Keep the comments coming. Keep the DMs coming. Keep the love coming, the support coming, the likes coming. I appreciate that. Okay, so I want to start to get into signs that you may have unhealthy soul ties from past relationships. I did talk about it from a professional sense, but we're going to dig a little bit deeper on a relational side. And then from there, we're going to move into what I'm calling like a soul tie, a soul cutting, cord cutting ceremony. And it'll only last a few minutes, but it'll certainly be a powerful way once you've identified what you need to remove, how you can actually remove it. Okay. So stay tuned for that. And so let's really get into what I mean by unhealthy soul ties, unhealthy relationship patterns. And I have to speak from personal experience because this is really how I just teach my show. And it generally resonates with a lot of people. And, like I said, more recently, I was connecting with someone who I really wanted it to work. And, this person didn't have really the ability to meet me where I needed to be meted, but I pushed for it anyway. Okay. And instead of this person just being like, oh, well, this is not working for me, or I'm not really interested, it became like a song and dance, like a torturous song and dance. Like I was performing and singing and getting, not just peanuts thrown at me, but like beaten off the stage, and I would still come back and perform and dance, and I would just be beaten off the stage. That's how it felt emotionally. Okay. It was emotional abuse. And I feel like a lot of people go through this, both men and women, and especially women. I believe in today's age, we're dealing with the ghosting, with the short texting, with the not being seen or feeling valued, or not being wanted to taken out or supported or feel supported. And these are a lot of the, I would say, experiences that a lot of women are having in relationships, and they continue to settle, for lack of better words, for subpar treatment and consideration because we really don't know any better. Can I be honest about that? Like maybe we experienced it. Maybe we experienced it when we were younger, like puppy love or in younger relationships. But as we've gotten older, a lot of people have gotten jaded, a lot of people have gotten hurt, a lot of people have gotten, abused. And so everyone's guard is up, everyone's ego is bruised, everyone is wounded operating out here. And so it's really hard to navigate sometimes those boundaries. So, like I was saying, with these unhealthy relationships, we have to be able to recognize the patterns. We have to be able to recognize the red flags. Okay. That's one thing. That's one step, is to be able to recognize it. And then the second step is to be able to determine, okay, is this something that I want to continue to deal with? Maybe it's something that's manageable or tolerable, if that's where you are right now. Then the third step, okay, wait, this isn't tolerable for me. So then I need to remove myself from the situation that's actually bringing me harm. Okay. So now maybe you've come to that space, like me, where you've removed yourself from the situation, thank God. And now you want to cut the tie with that person because energetically, maybe you're still thinking about them. Maybe they're still in your dreams. Maybe they're still texting you, or there's something that's still connecting you guys that you want to make sure there's a clean cut so you can move on with your life and invite in more love, more abundance, more freedom, more love, and not the same old bullshit you was dealing with in the past. Okay. So I hope that's really clear around what it is that the unhealthy soul tie looks like. And so now I want to move into what I'm calling the cord cutting meditation, the cord cutting ceremony, if you will, the cord cutting activation, even. I did it myself. I shared that with you guys. I've done it myself, and it is so powerful. It is so, I would say, like healing. It is so fulfilling, and I just know it's going to be the same for all of you, or greater. So let's start with this visualization, this exercise, and then we'll kind of go from there. So perfect. I want to invite you, if you haven't already, to sit in a comfortable position, whether you're in your car, like parked somewhere, or you're at home, or wherever you are. Just relax. And if you can, certainly close your eyes. The next piece would be around coming back to your body. All right. So once you're sitting, you're comfortable. Maybe you sip some tea, sip some water. I'm going to do that with you guys. Yes. So take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale. Breathe in again. Exhale. I would say take breaths through the nose here. Just make it a nice balanced breath, so you just feel really comfortable, really normal, like you're not like doing extra, okay? And as you take your breaths in through your nose, out through your nose, begin to feel more grounded. Whew. Begin to feel more present in your body. If you can, try to feel your tailbone. That's the lowest bone on your back, right above your butt. That's like how we get grounded. That's where our root chakra is. Okay. Now imagine a soft protective light surrounding you. This is your sacred space, okay? A space where you are completely safe. A space where you can do this powerful spiritual work while also honoring your professional strength, okay? We're not forgetting about the organizational connections, the professional connections in this either, okay, guys? Now bring your awareness to your body. Notice any areas of tension, perhaps in your shoulders, your neck, I get it a lot there, your jaw, your chest, your heart chakra. Breathe into these areas and visualize relaxation, experience relaxation. Just relax into your body. Now, from this centered space, I want you to think of someone with whom you have a negative soul tie. Like I said before, this could be a personal relationship. It can be a work relationship. Someone whose energy still affects you, whose opinions still influence your decisions, or whose presence in your past is blocking new love from entering into your life. Think about that person. And as you think about them, notice if you feel a sensation in your body, perhaps a heaviness, a pulling, or a discomfort. Wherever you're feeling that, this is where that energetic cord is attached. Okay? And for many women, particularly working, professional, leading type women like us, these cords are often attached to our hearts, our heart chakra, our throats. Ooh, I feel it a lot in my throat, and our solar plexus right here at the top of our abdomen. And they really affect our ability to feel, to love freely, to speak our truth, and really claim our fullest potential and our fullest power. You know, those are all the centers that are connected to those aspects of our emotional being. So essentially, you want to visualize this cord connecting you to this person. What does it look like? What color is it? Is it thick? Is it thin? Is it bright? Is it dull? See this cord clearly and understand that it was created through your connection, whether emotional, physical, or spiritual, and acknowledge that this cord once served a purpose in your journey. Now take a moment to mentally express gratitude for what this connection taught you. Thank you for the lessons you brought into my life. Thank you for showing me more about myself. I honor the role you played in my journey. Now imagine in your dominant hand appears a tool of your choosing. So if you're right-handed, the tool's there. If you're left-handed, that's where the tool is. And it's perhaps some golden scissors, a lightsaber, a sword of light, or a sacred flame. And this tool represents your divine authority to choose your connections, okay? I love this. And with intention and love, okay, not anger or resentment, see yourself using this tool to cut or dissolve the cord connecting you to this person. And as you do this, say to yourself, I lovingly release this connection. I reclaim my energy. I reclaim my power. I reclaim my space for new love. And essentially, after you do that and you start to feel the dissolution and you're getting butterflies or you're feeling lighter, I want you to watch as this cord dissolves into light. And any energy that was yours returns to you as purified golden light, filling this space where the cord was once attached. Feel this renewed energy integrating into your being, healing any wounds that attachment may have caused, and feel yourself becoming more whole and more radiant. Now visualize a shield of light around your energy field, especially around the area where that cord was attached, whether it was your heart, your throat, or your solar plexus, or anywhere else in your body. And this shield allows love, opportunity, and blessings to flow in, but prevents any unwanted attachments. And say to yourself, my energy is my own. I am divinely protected. I choose my connections consciously. All right. Now take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your nose. Remember, we're just balanced here. We're not trying to do the most. We're just relaxing. Feel yourself fully present in your body, empowered by this release, this powerful release. and know that you've created now the energetic space to start inviting in new love, to start moving in a different direction away from these repeated patterns, repeated toxicities, so that you can really draw into that which you desire and that which you deserve. Okay. So, whew, I really want to start to get into essentially now the manifestation aspect. So now that you've started to clear away, I have to just continue to kind of do some of the clearing. As you start to clear away some of that which you were holding on to, the soul ties, the energies, the experiences, the memories, and you started to release all that and invite in the golden light. Whew, it is so powerful. And certainly so fulfilling. That's why I said it's fulfilling, it's renewing. I want you guys to just bookmark this, okay, and come back to this and do this as many times as you need to for as many people as you need to, okay? This is not just a one person thing. So if you're finding yourself like, okay, I've had attachments to a couple guys or a couple colleagues or a couple friends or family members that I need to cut ties with, then you may want to do this for each of them so that you can make sure that it's cleanly, clearly complete. Okay. So you want to be able to move forward in your life knowing that you have essentially completed your karma. Like, and this is probably not the best technical term to use, but I really want to try to help you get an understanding of what closing the soul tie feels like on an energetic level. It allows you to really close that chapter of that incarnation with that individual who may not have been healthy for your path at any point in your journey, yet they're still there. And if you're ready to move on, making sure that you can move on beautifully and with love and with gratitude for the purpose that they served. Ain't no shade, ain't no judgment, ain't no hate towards them people. It is nothing but gratitude and love and appreciation and a consciousness to be able to move to bigger and better and brighter and more loving and more abundance in your life. And so that's how you start to get to that next step where you're talking about this manifestation aspect. And I really wanted to start bringing in some affirmations that I think could be some beautiful affirmations for manifesting divine love. And one that I always say is, I have my divine union mate right now. So I have my divine union mate right now. And I want to break this down because affirmations are meaningful and certainly are even more meaningful when you understand what they mean. And when I say divine union, I'm meaning that I'm not just looking for a husband. I'm not just looking for a boyfriend for life or even just like a life partner. I'm looking for a mate in my life. You can say a partner in my life, a man in my life, a beautiful man in my life that is divinely appointed by God. Okay, that's where I'm at, period. And I know there are so many people out there that are here right now because we're sick of the bullshit. And so I really oh yeah, thank you. Intention and love, beautiful. Thank you. And so I really yeah, I was just saying that there are so many opportunities for the divine union mate, and we want it to be able to be an enjoyable experience, if you will, because you won't necessarily land on that one person like immediately. I have to say that they're going to be like iterations of it potentially, because like I said before, you don't know what you don't know. But as you continue to affirm, I have my divine union mate right now, you will then become introduced to more people who have more of the qualities for which you want to see in your life. They may not be everything, but there's more of it. And so I really want to just start to anchor us around calling forth that divine union mate. I have my divine union mate right now. You know, my divine union mate loves me and respects and honors me. My mate, you know, sees me for who I am. Those are really good ones too. And, you know, these are whatever it is that you feel like you deeply desire. These are ones that are deeply personal for me and really speak to what I seek in terms of my partner, someone who I can really walk in purpose with. This is what I was getting along to in the divine union definition, that it's different from just a husband or a life partner in that it's divinely appointed by God. And by being divinely appointed by God, we're walking in purpose together. We're walking in unison, like divine union together. And obviously, like, I'm still like technically single, so I don't have it right now. But just like I teach energetically, you must be a vibrational match. And that which I'm calling forth is something that I actually have never experienced before. So I must also be a vibrational match to that. So that's what I mean about the manifestation is you can't just say, I want this man. Ah, that's mine's. No, it's more the opposite. Like it's a preparation of yourself. It's a preparation of your energy. It's a preparation of your mindset. It's a preparation of your desires. It's so that you can really know exactly what you want when it shows up. Like it feels like I said, like it feels like home. It feels like, oh, this is it. That's it. You got me right there. This is all I need. And it feels so complete. And, I really want to encourage you all to start thinking more along the lines of a divine union mate or divine union partner, because if you're watching this podcast, if you're tuned into this, then you care about having an abundant and beautiful and loving and wealthy life. And we must be able to do that in alignment with someone else who we're able to pour into and who can equally pour into us. I do not believe we can go on this spiritual journey alone forever. I used to, I used to want to be a monk, a nun, whatever, because I just never saw a path where people could be in such high honor of God in union. I didn't see that path. Yet now that it's been introduced to me, I don't see any other way. That's just how I feel. And so, I really want us to also start to embrace that thinking and also the understanding that we deserve this. And that has to come back to worthiness. And I know there's oftentimes issues in relationships because we actually don't feel like we can get better. Like, this is the best that I can get. Like, this person loves me. This person, buys me groceries, or this person takes me out, or this person does this and that. And so that's enough for me. That's enough for me. And I've been there, and it's miserable to settle, actually. And I must say that a lot of people may not even do it consciously, maybe settling unconsciously because they don't even explore that which they really want from this life. So that's why this cord cutting ritual, these rituals to get a deeper understanding of who you want in your life, who you don't want in your life, doing these things regularly are beautiful opportunities to start moving out of the I'm settling zone. We kind of been in a settling stage for a while now, like, oh, there's always a but, let's not settle. Okay. If someone's not showing up for you 100% in the way that you need him to or need her to, then don't settle. Let's just leave it there. And that has to do with your feeling of your self-worth, your value. What do you stand for? What do you not stand for? And this is about something we talked about a little bit last week around boundaries and requirements. And I want us to really start to be more firm, if you will, hard with your boundaries. Like, if you're not going to have sex with someone, don't do it. If you're not going to go out drinking, you want to just go have a coffee or a lunch, do that. So you want to be able to do what you feel safe doing with someone and have them meet you there. There's no compromising me anymore. There's no you compromising you anymore. So you want to be able to move in that space of being able to love and honor yourself first. Love and honor your beingness first and what you desire first, okay? And the last piece around this manifestation of your true love is around the professional success that you want to balance with your romantic desires. Ooh, this is so good because I always talked about or say to people damn, I wish dating was going to school or doing my work, because I'm so good at doing my work. I'm so good at studying and taking tests and passing them and doing good. And this is just not the same approach to relationships. So we have to continue to nurture and put energy into our love life just as much as we do our business, our family life, our fitness journey. It has to receive your energy and your intention. And then someone brought it up too, with intention and love, cutting cords. Like, it has to be intentional. And certainly we want to be able to be intentional about putting our effort and energy into designing, determining, I would say, almost describing that which we want from our mate. And when in the manifestation phase, like, this is critical. Like, you got to put in your order to the universe. You can't just all only sit back and not be proactive in understanding yourself and what you want and your desires, because then it's just going to be like whatever pops out of the oven. And for me, I like want a beautifully baked souffle and cherry on top and whipped cream and design. Like, so like, how else would the universe, how else would universe know that if I didn't if I didn't put in that order? And so that order gets cultivated by you really describing, whether it's in journaling, journal prompting, or even in your going out on dates, you're meeting people, you're like, oh, I like that something about that person, or I like this about this person. Like, put it in your like mental treasure chest is what I call it. Like, oh, I love this aspect of him. I love this aspect of him. And you want to be able to have that stored up so you know what you want when you see it. And that's super important, because I think we have spent a lot of time, or maybe over indexed on looks, like height, bank account, money, but not really emotions. Like, how does this person make me feel? How do they look at me? What kind of gestures do they do that really speak to me? And I actually have taken the time to cultivate that thinking for myself. Like, I'm like, it's like down to the minutia detail of like, wow, these are the things that I really deeply desire in someone for me. Okay. So yeah, it's really about creating, and I'm gonna read it again, clear intentions that honor both you and all the other goals in your life. So you really want to honor your love, honor your career, honor your family life, all the same. Do not try to keep it as much in balance as possible. And I feel like that's the piece too that's really challenging for women, is how do I balance all these fucking things? I see so many memes about moms having to do all this different stuff. How do we even figure it out? Well, one step at a time, one day at a time, one meditation at a time, one cord cutting ritual at a time. I mean, we're in these big young ages still. We have a lot of time. And we want to be able to give ourselves that grace to be able to enjoy that time together with ourselves and with our loved ones. Enjoy that time with self, that exploration with self, and that growing and that gratitude with yourself. And so the last piece that I started to get into was around recognizing and nurturing that soul connection. So when you start to, put out there to God, to universe, what it is that you deeply desire, and you start to get the feedback, then you really are like, okay, oh, it's working for me. Like, yes, like I'm getting more and more of what I want from people and from men and from relationships and from my work colleagues, and everything's really starting to flow, and it feels really good and yummy. And I would say that some of the signs that I'm always getting when I'm like vibing high and in good situations are my angel numbers. And I know we haven't really talked in depth about numerology too much on this platform, but numerology is such a huge part of my personal practice and connecting deeply to myself and my ascension team. And I even posted it before because I put it in my little Gucci bag that my angel number is 333. So anytime I'm seeing 33s or triple threes or quadruple 333, nines and threes and sixes and threes and twos and threes, it's just like jackpot for me from the universe. Like, I am aligned. I'm where I'm supposed to be. So say I'm like on a date and things are going good and I'm seeing 333, then I'm just like, or 33 or 33s, then I'm just like, okay, I'm where I'm supposed to be. Like, this is a vibe is good. Like, I'm not just tripping. Okay. So we want to also, I understand, just have like external validations and signs that we're on the right path, that we're not feeling weird. And we want to be able to check in and tune in with ourselves about it, and not always have to ask other people, whether our girlfriends or our moms or whoever else we ask for dating advice. We want to be able to know for ourselves and know categorically for ourselves and comfortably for ourselves. That's the piece, is that the recognition of that which is coming to your life, which is good, you want to be able to feel it for yourself. I cannot emphasize that enough, or else you will not have the truth of it. If it's brought to you by someone else, that's their truth. We live and operate from our truth, our self-truth. So what feels good for me? What feels good for you? And that's where the recognition comes. And that also, it gets cultivated and nurtured with the cord cutting rituals, with the meditations, with the embodiment training and practice of breath work and or movement and or sound bowls. And there's just so many practices that you can begin to nurture in your life. Like I mentioned before, you can literally turn on Spotify or YouTube, put in sound bowls, healing frequencies, and vibe the fuck out. And this is a very easy, simple, like very feminine way to just like get a healing just by resting and listening to good music, soothing music. And so certainly as you start to attune to these softer frequencies, these more stable frequencies in your being, then you're really able to feel more and recognize more of that truth in your life. Because when you start to have more of that peaceful vibration and that peaceful feeling, then things that rattle that peace, things that disturb that peace, things that get on your nerves, you feel more. Okay? You can't take it anymore. It's so repelling to you. It's so disgusting to you. So being able to have the sensitivity of being able to recognize that which brings me peace versus that which brings me a disturbance or a distraction or an uncomfortable feeling, like a squirminess, sleaziness, that's the word. And you're going to be able to recognize all those emotions. And it's a lot easier too when you're not under the influence. I know oftentimes when we're dating, we're drinking or smoking or hookahs or weed, whatever. But it's really important that you are able to have moments of clarity of so you can really feel into, well, how am I feeling about this person? Are they draining me? Excuse me. Are they making me sick? Am I getting sick from hanging with this person, or I'm feeling like I'm walking on cloud nine? Am I really like turned off and insecure by this person, or do I feel like I'm the queen of the world now? Like I feel so loved and honored and seen. So these are ways in which we can start to recognize that which is made for us and that which is loving for us and that which is bringing us joy. And so and the last piece I would say is like, how do we remain open? Okay, like, okay, Erin, you're giving us all these tools about cutting the cords and manifesting and keeping our vibration at peace, but like, how long do I have to do this? As long as it takes. As long as it takes. And how do you remain open? How do you remain joyful? How do you remain trusting in this state of waiting, in this period of waiting? You go back to step one. You nurture yourself. You do your meditation rituals. You eat good. You go for walks. You call up your girlfriends. Y'all have a Galentine's every fucking month. Not just for February. Y'all do Galentine's every month. Y'all celebrate each other every month for dinner or parties. Because, ladies, we have to find a way to nurture ourselves and lift ourselves up outside of toxic relationships. We're not going to be fed through that. So the best way to remain open is to stay in that state of joy, stay in that state of happiness, of love for self by any means possible. By any means possible, okay? By any means possible, you have to stay in love with yourself, enjoying yourself, happy for yourself. And that's the vibration you want to emit for love to be attracted to you, for good things to be attracted to you, for wealth to be attracted to you. You got to be in a state of receptivity, and you already got it. You already got the love for yourself. You already got the things for yourself. You already got the materials. You already got the wealth because you feel it in your beingness. You exude it. It is in your heart. It is in your soul, those things. And you must be willing to nurture that in order to receive all that you wish in love, in life, in work, in everything. Okay? So that really starts to wrap it up. Like, this was like such a good one for me, and like just what I've been through and how I'm going into other aspects of my life and going through a transition right now. I feel like it's really beautiful to come back to those things that got me here. And I can't tell you how many cord cutting ceremonies I've done over the years. I probably did my first one years ago. And, they continue to evolve. They continue to be less and less painful. Like I said, I did this one for myself. And I just thought that it was a really beautiful one to share with you all on the podcast. And I felt so renewed and so powerful. And I feel like just so even vibrant right now, and just like, keeping myself together. As I'm doing this podcast, because it's just been so, invigorating and inspiring, this exercise of really releasing those energies, those entities, those individuals that no longer serve us, so that we can invite in those energies, those entities, those individuals who can serve us in our highest good and our highest purpose. So let's continue to walk in that, guys. I'm so glad that you guys were speaking to me and saying hi. And I certainly invite you to comment, to like this video, to share it with a friend. Really invite you also to work with me. If this is something that really resonated with you on a soul level, to cut these soul ties, to really move into a space of love and abundance, holler at me. I'm the goddess that got you. And I really want to support you in taking yourself to the next level, so that you can really move past the fear, the blockages, the unworthiness that has held you back. You deserve love, and the highest love, in the physical form. I believe it. I said it. I believe it. And if you want to check me out, or good evening, or see more of what I have to offer, I'm at erinpatton.com. And thank you so much, you guys, for checking in. I'm glad y'all liked it. This was really good for me too. And I'm sorry for the tech glitches, but y'all already know how technology go. And I invite you also to remember those affirmations. I have my divine union mate right now. I am loved, I'm honored, I am respected by my divine union mate. All of these things are going to be really helpful for you as you move along this journey. And until then, I wish you all much love and light. Peace. Did you really love this episode of the Meta Business Millennial Podcast? Well, I am honored, and I appreciate you subscribing, leaving a review, and sharing it with your friends, because your feedback allows us to co-create more enlightened conversations. And if you're interested in growing your soul now, head over to my website, erinpatton.com, to find all the show notes, links, and free resources to get your energy activated today. In the meantime, stay bright, my friends. Much love and light. Peace.